Morning, just a couple practice drills to start off the day. I'm thinking about this is just like an old paddle ball or something like that. Someone's paddle ball, and I put a hammer at the edge so I can practice leading with the nail with the head of the hammer. And I'm thinking sometimes what happens is the ball's coming fast and people aren't used to just blocking the ball back. And so what a great way. Of course, if you want to swing, you're take a circular motion, which I encourage. Have more of a circular motion. But here, just practicing with the knuckles. You got the knuckles going forward. A lot of times people are volleying, and it actually their wrist is leading forward instead of their knuckles. And so this will strengthen your arm. And actually, it's adding extra pound. And so I'm practicing something like weightlifting. You get weights and you practice weights, and you strengthen your biceps here like this. But here I'm practicing strengthening my outside my muscles, strengthening muscles. So here is a great way of practicing, okay? And so leading with the knuckles, okay? I got this idea. There's a video called Creative Tennis. I wish they had made more of a series. I think it was Kevin Daughtry and Tracy Austin on something about creative tennis or conceptual tennis. One of the best videos, but they did that one. If they would have just continued it, it would have been a great series. But they only did really one video, I think. But here is the practice with your knuckles first, okay? Think about using a hammer tool. You need to have a backhand, a forehand, a serve, volleys, different tools in your toolbox to be able to play. You just can't have one shot. And so here's a great way of practicing your backhand. And so I would also encourage, if you want to, you can practice your forehand. Pretend like the head of the racket is a hammer, okay? A hammer, and you're just hammering the ball. Another drill that's good is getting a roller and practicing with a roller going up, okay? And so it's a great way of going up. This is improvised like a top swing pro. So simple to make. Get a stand, get a roller, get a fluffy roller, and just practice going up, okay? Going up, not like this, but taking the racket back down and going. This is a great way of practicing lag. Or get a wheel, and now you're practicing like this. So you're practicing this way, okay? And you're practicing with your cap or your racket going first, okay? What a great way of practicing. I'll get some rackets from the thrift store. I like when they have the cover on it. And now I'm going to practice, just going up. And a great way to do this is just practice sitting in the chair if you can. Sometimes I sit in my couch or chair, and I'll just practice, brushing the ball up. It's using a paint roller. It's a great way of practicing. Or if you want to practice lag, you're leading with the elbow. Voluntary, you start with the flashlight, okay? And so I take my racket back, and then I'm leading with the cap, And so I'm practicing, and of course I'm strengthening this side of the body. And so what a great way of practicing. And whatever I do on the right side, I will do on the opposite side also. I like to practice both arms. That way it creates a balance, okay? I'm not off balance. When you're playing tennis, it's very important to have some kind of balance, not be falling all over the place. But it takes time sometimes, depending on how your body is growing when you're young, and when you're older, to be able to have good balance. That's a great way to practice. And so, practicing my backhand. And remember that if you're playing and you're practicing and you hit a forehand, you're hitting, like say a forehand like this, choke up your racket. Now if you put your extra hand on, now you got a two-handed backhand. What a great way of practicing when you're in a tennis court. Hit one with one choked up forehand, and then put your other hand on, and now you have a two-handed backhand. What a great way. Get used to turn your shoulders first. The first motion, turn your shoulders. Okay? Turn your shoulders. And so what a great way of practicing. And so here you have a roller. You have a wheel that you can practice like this. Okay? I can go this. I'm leading with the elbow. So you can see the cap. Not the elbow, cap. So I'm leading with the cap, going this way. Okay? Now we'll get back to the regular principle that I was just talking about. When you're practicing, get a hammer. And I put a hammer like this, and now I'm leading with the hammer. If you can see it, I'm not sure you can see it, I just put a hammer. It's kind of creative way. And now I'm going to practice. That's for strengthening my arm. So when that ball comes hard, I just block it like this, okay? Remember, you think of McEnroe did this a lot when he volleyed, okay? When he was coming in. And so what a great way of practicing, strengthening the backside of your arm, your bicep, your extensor muscles here, you know, getting used to leading with the knuckles, okay? It's amazing how much power you can get if you get used to using like a hammer, hitting the racket like a hammer. And so when I think about I take off the cover, okay? I take off the cover of the racket. Now I'm going to pretend like this is the hammer, okay? Boom, boom, okay? It's the hammer. That's one of the, you know, shots that I want to practice or strengthen with. And this is a nice old racket I picked up at the thrift store just for a couple dollars. And I can practice swinging it. It slides a very nice racket. It's amazing. And so I don't know if you've ever seen one like this, but it's a beautiful racket. And so here I'm just practicing. It's a great way of practicing, okay? And whatever you do on one side, try to do it on the other side, okay? And so there's other tips we can point out later, but just these for now. The hammer, the roller, the wheel, okay? Just different exercises you can do. I hope this is helpful and thought-provoking.